The champions.
Yeah.
Great teams.
The champions. Are you ready?
Alright, let's go.
Right. Yes, we're back. It's Yak. I'm with my boy Conar. How you doing, Conar?
I'm good, Yak. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm heating
Good
up.
stuff.
I've got no jumper on today because the title race is getting hot.
It's getting hot.
But before we go any further, we will demand right now that you like, subscribe, and further along the video, comment, please. It does us the world of good. And, you know what I mean, it's all about the algorithm nowadays.
And you might like it.
Yeah.
Give it a chance.
Even if you hate it, comment, like, and subscribe.
Say you hate it.
Do you know what I mean? All attention is good attention.
Mm.
Probably isn't, actually, to be fair. But, like I said, title race is hotting up.
Yep.
Before we go any further than further, what was your pre-season prediction?
I said Chelsea or City.
Yep.
We're 8 games in. Chelsea are top.
Yep.
City are joint second with Liverpool.
1 point in it.
1 point in it. I don't think it will be Chelsea. I think it will be City, just because of the depth they have. The fact that, you know, we always underestimate them. Every season we do it. You know, Guardiola can't do it again. They haven't got the players. They've just signed like one of the top 4 players in the league last season.
Yeah.
Like for 100 million. They didn't lose anyone.
No.
Why are they not going to win the league?
Well, this is the thing. Everyone goes, because of the Harry Kane saga, everyone automatically goes, oh, well, they didn't buy a striker, so they're weaker than before.
Yeah.
But like you just said, they signed the hottest property in England.
Aguero, like, you know, Aguero wasn't even really playing last couple of seasons. He played like 15,
been on the
20,
way out
yeah.
for a while.
Exactly. Like
As cracking as
they've
he
been
is.
phasing him out. He's been injured. Like they haven't missed him. Like they've got about 11 players on the pitch every game that could score, even the keeper.
Yeah.
Like they're the best team in the world.
Well, I was looking at their stats earlier, and like no one scored loads of goals, but it's just like 2 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals, and by the end of the season, that's 5, 10, 10 assists each.
Chipping away at the goal difference. 100%.
You've got to think they're already playing this well, and we sort of look at, I'm Liverpool, you're Chelsea, we look at our 11s and think, oh, they're playing well, not playing well. But City, Mahrez hasn't really got started yet.
No.
Sterling's not been playing very well.
Playing. And he was like one of our best players at the Euros.
Yeah,
you forget that. Like he's still a baller.
They've got so much. Ferran Torres has been sort of unfit, now injured for a few months, I think, which is sad because
he was actually smashing it as well.
It's good for us, but I really like Ferran Torres. And the thing with sort of City needing a striker is, I can't think who it was that made this point on the telly. And when has Pep's teams ever really had a striker?
No,
you think of Aguero, but like he's not a Harry Kane, Lukaku.
The only one I can think of is Lewandowski, and like
True.
obviously when they're Bayern.
True.
But like he's a genius.
The
like,
way they play, they don't need it, do they?
No, he's for me. It's a big opinion, but I think he's the best manager ever.
Yeah.
The fact that he can constantly adapt his formations, he changes it week in, week out.
Yeah.
He adapts to who he plays. Like, the fact they don't even need a striker and they're probably going to win the league is just mad.
When you watch them play, and you're just like, Jesus Christ! Like
you
the
guys are
other
good.
team does not stand a chance. Unless, like, obviously, in big games it's a little bit closer and stuff like that, because I think you do get caught up in the moment as a footballer.
100%.
But against the smaller teams, mate, they just wipe the
blow
floor.
them away.
Wipe the floor.
They went away to Club Bruges the other day and won 5-1.
I know, I did watch that game.
They didn't even play like their best 11.
No.
Well,
within 20 minutes, you're thinking like they're gonna score.
And their XG as well. Like, I've got really into looking at XGs. Which I hate the fact I do that, because I always slated people who did that.
But it's interesting.
It's interesting, and they are literally battering everyone on XG.
Yeah.
They average like 4 or 5 XG per game, which is just stupid.
Which is crazy. Yeah, because the thing is like, you'd think in your mind, if you're watching football, a team gets like 2 decent chances, you'd be like, oh, that's probably an XG of 1. But you look at it, and that's only like 0.4.
Yeah.
Or something.
That's
so
what I
like
mean.
to get that high.
Apparently, a penalty is like 0.7.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, you got to think, how many chances are they getting to get an XG of 5?
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
That's just stupid. Like,
in a way, like sometimes when I watch City, I think if Harry Kane was in there, I've got to admit, I'm not the biggest Harry Kane fan anyway.
Yeah, you've always said.
But yeah, it's just me and him we just don't click, mate. We just don't get on like that. But I just think he'd kind of take away from that a little bit.
Yeah.
And he'd just become like the hub of the team.
Yeah.
And
I
like, if he was playing this season, would Bernardo Silva be having the season he's having?
It'd be the Harry Kane show, wouldn't it? And again, like that, I don't know. It just works. It works at City. Like you can't even really explain it.
I'm
why.
sure it would work with Kane. I'm sure you could have
he's the best man. He's the best manager.
Yeah,
like
100%. Apart from Jurgen Klopp, but that's fine. Yeah.
Jurgen who?
So we've spoken about City.
Yep.
My pick City. Your pick City for the title.
We'll agree on that.
What's changed? Is it just that City are playing so well? What's changed from the Chelsea winning it perspective? Have they gone down, or have City just gone?
I don't think.
past?
Do you know what? With Chelsea, I think they're probably the hardest team to beat out of all of them.
Yeah.
Like the way they're set up is just like he's got them being defensively solid against everyone, which is incredible. But I think you sacrifice the way you play when you do that.
Yeah.
And it will only last so long. Like, you can be really, really hard to beat, but there'll be a lot of games where we don't score. I don't really see a particular style of play. We're very, very, very like defensive, and we block. We even protect the defence with two very defensive-minded players, Conar and Jorginho, and I think that massively affects how our attacking players can flourish.
Yeah.
So that's why you're probably not seeing the best out of Lukaku, Havertz, Mount. No one's really stat pad him. I saw a ridiculous stat that 85% of our goals this season have been from defenders, which is just crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
When you think about how much attacking talent Chelsea has,
and
it's not being used. But like the argument is, it's like, well, okay, he's got them playing now, and they're hard to beat. Why can't he change the formation?
Yeah.
Go back to 4 at the back.
Yeah.
I want to see 4-3-3. I want to see different formations that involve more attacking play.
Yeah,
look at Liverpool. Liverpool, okay, they might concede 2 a game, but they'll score 3.
Yeah, and football is entertainment at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I just feel like it's getting too robotic. Like, there's too much, like, trying to avoid situations, trying to avoid, like, chances created against you where you sacrifice how you then play. And as a Chelsea fan, a lot of people might watch this and think you're stupid because your team are top.
Yeah.
Like, Champions League group's going all right. Like, there's nothing that they're out of at the minute. They're playing okay. They've conceded 4 goals all season. But, like, you expect more. They won the Champions League. They signed one of the best strikers on form in the planet.
Yeah.
Why are they not playing better? Like, I don't know. I want to know your opinion because I watch every Chelsea game and I just can't really work it out.
Yeah, I think with Chelsea, that when, like you say, when you watch the games, you sort, if you just looked at the results, you'd think like, oh God, like no complaints there. But when you watch, you do think Brentford being a good example, but also compliments to Brentford because they're the first team that's actually looked like opening Chelsea up. Which I know you had like Sarr and Chalobah on and stuff like that, but Brentford, like, kudos to them in it. They look unreal. But it is one of those situations, and I've spoken about it before, where if you play negatively, like the quality of the Premier is so high now that if a team gets lucky, if a set piece bounces off your defender the wrong way and they get that 1 goal, do you have it in you without switching to 4 defenders? Can you then say, right, we need to go chase the game
just
now?
Go for it
with 3 isolated players or even 2 isolated players at the top. Like, it's quite hard.
It is hard. I mean, there's a couple of games this season that spring to mind where I wish he just changed it. Like the game we lost to City, when obviously you guys were dominating us, we were just sitting deep. Like, he should have just switched it up and just gone for it.
Yeah.
Like, we've beaten...
You're away, it's fine.
We've beaten Pep 3 times before, like, the last 3 games before, including the final, that we, like, the games we played against them. Like, we were 1-0 down, just go for it.
Yeah.
Like, I know we did start attacking, but we stayed in our shape, and, like, I just think, I would have liked to see him mix it up then. And then the Juventus game as well, same situation. They got a goal.
I watched that.
And we just didn't change anything again. Like, I want to see... I know he actually took off, like... I think he made 5 subs that game and he really switched it up. But, yeah, I just want to see... I want to see more creativity. I want to see, like... It's frustrating that players like Pulisic are always injured.
Yeah.
Hudson-Odoi looks like he's never, like, taken anyone on before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to see changes.
Yeah. But so, Chelsea first. Are you still... Chelsea first? Chelsea are first, but City to win the title.
Yeah.
I think... My view is that Chelsea and Liverpool are going to be battling out for second.
Yeah,
but do you think United are still in that pack, or do you think they're desperately going to try and fight for top 4?
I think it's tough because on paper, again, there's no reason why they couldn't win it. Like, their team is stupid. Like, I think Carragher said it a couple of weeks ago. They've got a 50 million plus player in every position. Yeah. Which is like...
Well, they've spent more money than City now, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got, they've recruited big players like who have stat padded in other leagues.
Yeah.
United is a very obvious problem. It's the manager.
Yeah, because this is what I don't get. Like, I know like I'm all for protests and all that, but I don't get why United fans are protesting their board.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've spent over $1 billion in 10
Yeah.
years. You can't legally spend much more money than that, and they're always like, oh, they never put money back into the team, and it's like you don't have to put money into a team that generates that much money every year. You can just spend that money, and they
absolutely
do
and they do every year, like every season. I can't remember a window where they haven't spent. Like they're always signing someone decent or someone
Do you reckon they will? I know like Neville, Scholes, all of them don't think United will sack Solskjaer. Do you think it will get to the point where the fans will put so much pressure on that they'll have to just be like, sorry, Ollie, mate?
I think it's happening, like,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a slow process because obviously, you know, he's got a legacy there. It'll be similar with like Lampard, what happened with him. You know, like it didn't happen overnight, but it was a build-up of results where the Chelsea fans were like, do you know what, even though he's a legend,
This isn't
like,
quite what we expect.
like,
Yeah.
if you sign like 200 mil on players, like you have to be doing better.
Yeah.
Like he has to be doing better. You know, I know Ronaldo's like 52, but like he's still one of the best players in the world. Like the lineup they put out like, last night, I was looking at it and I was like, that should be battering this team. Like, and they nicked it at the end. Like, if they do that against Liverpool this weekend, they're getting absolutely beat up. That's facts.
I don't usually look forward to games at Old Trafford, but this, I'm looking forward to this one quite a lot.
I fancy you guys. I think you will beat them. But if United, if they sort it out in the next month and they get rid of him, I think they could win it.
Well, that's the thing. They've got the talent. That if they just click, then
like they actually could go on a run.
Yeah.
They didn't lose away all last season.
Yeah, I was
mad.
surprised by that. But then this is the crazy thing with United is they haven't played really well.
No.
In any game anyone's watched.
No.
But they do. They're always sort of there still. Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, I kind of feel like it's been similar to watching us recently.
Yeah.
Like we haven't been good to watch. Like no game this season has been good.
Yeah.
But like with getting the results, which is like, you know, a lot of fans might look at it and go, "Oh yeah, that's the most important thing. It's a results a results
I think
business."
with that point of view is that because of Pep and Klopp, even Poch at Spurs that little few seasons, is that now people are finally when Mourinho was winning everything, the idea was that if you want to play attacking football, you can't win anything. If you want to win something, you have to play defensive.
But you know what?
It's kind of been proved wrong now.
A lot of people say that about Mourinho, but honestly, the first two seasons Chelsea won the league, we were like different gear to watch.
Yeah.
We scored I think we scored the most goals in the league in 04-05 and 05-06.
Yeah.
Like we were blowing teams away. We were scoring like 5 a game at times.
Lampard getting 20 a season.
Yeah, we were great to watch. We were a really good attacking team.
Yeah.
The time he came back, the second time when we won it in 14-15, we were a lot more machine-like, but again, we're good to watch.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one game this season I've enjoyed. I have to be honest. Like, I just think we're lacking a real creative player in the middle, like who can actually progress. Like, you got ball carriers like Kovacic and Loftus-Cheek, but it's getting that like almost that 10 position or like a advanced 8 who can make something happen. Yeah. Mount could be that player. But at the moment, he's not doing it enough.
No.
Like, you want to see more. Like, I'd love someone like Tielemans to come in. I think that would make a difference. You know, we are missing like a Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest. Yeah. Like, a Coutinho 4 or 5 years ago, what he was like. Someone like that to just get the ball and, you know, if it's 30 yards out, just have a go. Like, I don't see Chelsea doing that anymore. Like, someone creating it. We literally miss Fabregas so much since he's gone.
Yeah.
But... yeah, it's tough. Like, it's not easy to replace, but I just think going back to United, if they get rid of Solskjaer in the next few weeks, they could definitely be up there.
Because rumours are that Zinedine Zidane would be the one to come over. I think I was listening to Redmond TV earlier, and they were saying that they'd put money on Ronaldo getting Ollie sacked and just becoming the manager, giving himself
player
the
manager.
That has got to be the most reactionary signing ever. Like, he's going to go to City. He's going to completely ruin how our team plays. But we've got to have him just because City can't have him.
And do you know what the truth is?
Look what you've done.
Actually, really need him.
No, not at all.
Like,
he's almost in the way now.
Like they actually didn't really need him. If they'd honestly spent that money on Rice, that'd be a different team.
100%. Even under Solskjaer, I think.
Yeah. Like, they haven't got a holding midfielder. They haven't got a midfield. Like, their midfield is probably out the top teams the worst.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind McTominay. Like, Fred is very hit and miss, but together they're just poor. Like, no communication.
No.
Teams cut through them. They really do. Like, did you see the Everton game a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
Like that breakaway goal.
Like, obviously shouldn't like Everton so much, but they've got Benitez, so I can't do this season.
Yeah, Rafa.
But yeah, I felt when that last goal got chalked off for offside, I felt awful for them because they
deserved it.
Yeah, 100%,
they actually deserved it.
100%.
Yeah, United, it's going to be interesting. It'll be, like I say, if Solskjaer goes, then yes. If he doesn't, then I think they could struggle for top 4. I really do.
Yeah, I think my bet's still on City. I want to say Liverpool because I think we're in the form to win it. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can sort of say that there's... obviously, you probably could, but in my head, there's not a particular reason why I'm sat here thinking, no, Liverpool won't win the title. It's just that City, I think all of the big games this season, mostly going to be draws.
Yeah.
And City are just bullies, like to the smaller teams. Like that, you nearly slipped up against Brentford, got the 3 points. Like we slipped up against Brentford. Yeah. City don't really do that. No. They might do early on in the season, but they haven't this season. And then it will get to a point where they're like, right, we've got 20 games to go, lads. We've got to win them all. And they do.
And they just will.
They'll 3-0.
They barely concede. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to ask you, what is your, I know it's early to call it, but we'll do it again. What's your final top 4 in order?
City, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Brighton?
Honestly, like I'm a big... Again, because I've got affinities to Palace, I probably shouldn't like Brighton so much, but I love Brighton. Yeah. Don't know if they've also another team. Have they got enough goals? Yeah. Welbeck and Trossard, likeable duo. Yeah. Mopé, like he is such a cock. In football,
you want him though. Like
everybody
you
loves
want him
a
on
cock.
your team, like you.
Pause.
Actually, yeah.
But like,
you want to play on your team.
Yeah.
The shithousery, like you need that.
But have they any of those players 20 goals a season, guys?
Nah,
probably not.
What's your gut feeling say?
I don't know who to put fourth, but it's not United for me. Wow. Leicester, maybe. I think
Arsenal.
See, I was going to ask you about that in a minute. We'll come back to Arsenal and Spurs, but yeah, I think City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester. I'm going to say Leicester.
You're going to go Leicester. They're actually going to do it this time.
Yeah. I don't think the United board. I honestly think the United board would rather have problems with the fans than sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that sounds so stupid saying that because he's been crap. United don't look good in games. Yeah. The comebacks they're making, it's like if Burnley made a comeback against one of our teams, it's not like it's just not the same. Like Robbie Savage, Yeah, they're in that position where they've made their bed now, and they're like, well, we're gonna lie in it because we're right. We'll be right in the end. But like, will they? No, I don't know. I think the thing is though, let's go into it with Arsenal and Spurs. Yeah, the Sky Sports top 6 is the 4 we've mentioned. Yeah, Spurs and Arsenal. Do you
think Spurs and Arsenal are better than? But like,
no, but this is the thing. That's the Sky Sports. That's the Sky Sports top 6. Do you think that exists still?
No, I think it's very different now. I think like as much as Arsenal are still a massive club, which they are because of the history, obviously the fan base, the stadium they've got. You know, in my opinion, they are probably in the top 4 biggest clubs in the country. Yeah, but they're nowhere near it. No, nowhere near it. It's a project with Arsenal. Like, I personally think Arteta is not the right manager. I think that needs to be changed ASAP. They've actually signed all right players.
That's the thing. I think I think it's more the coach again, like United. I think they had a good transfer window.
But this is what annoys me. Why are people like Arteta and Ole and even Lampard when he was at Chelsea given these privileged positions to manage these top clubs? I know. When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was where was he at? He was in like a Norwegian club, wasn't he?
Was he at the team you played? No, you played Malmo.
No, Mulder. That's it. Yeah. Lampard didn't get Derby promoted. He lost the playoff final.
I know, and he had a lot of good players on loan.
And Arteta was putting the training cones out for Pep.
Yeah.
And, you know, wiping his
I love
bum.
that. That was one of my favourite things of the season already. When City slapped Arsenal and Pep's like, yeah, Arteta's a genius. And it's yeah, because you fucking got one over him.
He does this every time.
If
he
you
literally
got
loves.
beat, you'd be like, I fucking hate him.
Yeah, he loves literally milking it when he beats Arteta. It's so funny to watch.
Yeah.
More than you believe. More than you believe. More than you believe. I'm so happy. Happy Christmas.
I'm more happy than you believe. Antonio Banderas moment. So Spurs and Arsenal aren't in the top 6 now, yeah?
No. I hate Spurs, but they're.
Do you think they'll be there or thereabouts still?
They've got the players too.
Yeah.
But will they is another question.
Nuno's looking like a very, very damp.
I was thinking about this earlier. I think this is how I think the top 6 will go. I think it'll be City first.
Yeah, I didn't ask you. Sorry.
Liverpool second, Chelsea third. I think United will get 4th because they're just too good not to. I think Leicester will be 5th. And you know what? I honestly think you could see a surprise in there for City. We only mentioned West Ham.
I know West Ham, Wolves.
West Ham are a decent side.
Yeah.
Moyes has actually got them playing. Like whenever I watch West Ham, I'm so entertained.
Yeah, it's a good game. Yeah,
they are very entertaining to watch. Like Declan Rice as well has turned into one of the best midfielders in the Prem.
Yeah. I was so not sure on him, but now, last season, this season, you're starting to go. Actually,
this guy can play.
Yeah,
and he's not just defensive player.
Serious midfielder.
He can carry it forwards. Like he can shoot, he can tackle. Like he's everything you want. He's a 6. He's an 8. He's a DM.
I think he's got the second highest pass completion rate in the Prem this season after Rodri.
Really?
Which
says everything.
You wouldn't expect from someone that wins the ball back a lot and stuff like that.
He is going to be literally when the teams start replacing their CDMs, whether it's Fernandinho going or Kante moving on, the top clubs are going to be sniffing around.
It's going to be the summer of Haaland, Mbappe and Rice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I think it'll be City top, Liverpool second, Chelsea third, United 4th. I think Leicester will get 5th, and I think it honestly could be West Ham 6th.
So I was going to...
What is that? What's that sound? The beeping.
What beeping?
The beeping that keeps going. I can't hear it. You can't hear it. He's going... What happened?
Harry's going crazy behind the scenes.
Talking
about Arsenal when he's just started going...
I haven't heard beeping. I haven't heard beeping once, mate.
No.
I'm not.
Honestly.
Well, I think it's stopped now, so...
Yeah. Thanks, Harry. Right, so I'm just going to be listening for that now. So, at least for this season, Arsenal, Spurs on in the top 6. If we were to rebrand the top 6, forget about just this season where you think teams will finish. Who are the 2 teams that you would put in and call the big 6? For me, I think I would go with West Ham, Leicester.
Yeah,
the size of the clubs.
Yeah.
Leicester consistent.
They're Leicester have been better than Spurs and Arsenal for the last 3 years now,
and they've won the title in the last. I know it was an anomaly.
They're not let's get this straight, because people might comment on this and go, "How can you say they're a bigger club?" That's not what I'm saying. They're not bigger clubs, but they are in the top. They're better clubs. They're better run clubs. Better teams. I think Arsenal fans would all admit they'd much rather have Leicester's squad than Arsenal's. There might even be an argument for they probably have majority of West Ham's. Yeah. Big players at West Ham.
Souček, Rice in the middle.
Even Kufal. Antonio. You got big players there who are actually performing. Yeah. West Ham are in Europe. They're in Europa League.
And they're still playing well in the
Prem,
Leicester. Which says a lot.
Leicester are winning in Europe and winning in the league.
Big Pats and Dakar.
Yeah, you got teams here who are performing now like that, and Spurs are in the Conference League. I love the fact they're there, and they can't even I think they drew a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Arsenal, it is a process because they're rebuilding. Arsenal, I think in 3 years will be back in the top 4.
Yeah, I do.
But Arteta needs to go. If they get rid of,
would you think? Do you think Aubameyang and Lacazette are part of what needs to go?
They're gone. Yeah, I think they need to get rid of the trash. It's harsh, but I think there's been a culture at Arsenal since Wenger's gone, which is just not
turn up, get paid a lot.
Yeah, no mentality for. There's no leaders. The biggest leader is Xhaka, and he's as reckless as anyone.
I love him though.
Yeah, he was, but even though he was doing that, and you don't go crap overnight.
He did get malaria as well.
He does go missing a lot,
which is that could.
He goes missing a lot. For me, okay, he does work hard, like, and he has like, the big drought last season. I just think there's players you can get in who don't go missing.
Yeah, when you compare them to the 4 teams you're gonna have to be better than to win the title, you need a little bit more than. Oh, I'll finish it on the back post.
Yeah, but that's Aubameyang. You don't see him all game, and then he'll get 2 goals.
And again, we were talking before about if you play football. I play at the lowest level available to adults in the world.
Church
but like, yeah. But players that are faster.
God squad.
Gabriel Jesus. No, but like players that are faster than everybody else on the pitch that don't use that outside of the penalty area have got to be the most like the amount of times I watch Arsenal and I think like if Aubameyang's on the last man there, like do you need to like play it across 20 times? Can you not just play it across and then
ball over the top?
And like
I swear,
surely you've got the fastest player around.
Whenever you see Arsenal actually win games like and play well, it's always them on the counter.
Yeah.
I just think, why don't they play that more? Like, actually, just like
Smith Rowe and Saka around Aubameyang.
They massively overdo it. I mean, why do Arsenal not have a game plan? Like, is the argument,
Like, against Palace, you did notice that. I know Arteta said he was like that's the thing when Arteta speaks about the game, you can see he really understands it, and he obviously gets it to a higher level than any of us do. But you watch Arsenal and you sort of think like, oh, I can see how this will work. Mate, like Arsenal might be, and then the next 10 minutes they're all in different positions, and you think like, where's midfield gone? Or where's the front line? And Smith Rowe and Saka get a pass for that because they're young and learning,
of course.
But the rest of the players, you sort of think, so like you say, the lack of leadership, the lack of someone to be like, no, you need to be there. You need to be there. Whilst the game's going on.
Arsenal is totally a mentality thing. I literally look at Arsenal and I see, I don't see any leaders. No. I think they've got a couple of players in there who will be good, like young players. I like Odegaard. I love Saka. I think Saka's such a baller. I think he's going to be a great player. Smith Rowe looks really good as well. Definitely need to upgrade their forwards. If I was them in the next window, I'd get rid of Lacazette and Aubameyang. I'd go for like a target man because they put a lot of crosses in the box. Someone like an Abraham or like a Daka, for example.
Someone they can hit and play off.
Who's that other guy? Vlahovic.
Vlahovic. Sorry to all my Serbian people.
Yeah, he's a great striker. Someone like that Arsenal need. Target man, big in the air, strong, just built for the Prem.
Yeah.
Like I actually really like their right back, that Tomiyasu.
Yes.
He looks good.
Yes.
Gabriel,
I think their transfer windows have been decent.
Be a good player. Ben White, I'm still not sold on. Ramsdale's proven a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, I love Ramsdale.
Big love to Ramsdale. I think he's a good goalkeeper. Gets a lot of stick. Don't know why.
Yeah, I've that really baffled me on like Twitter and stuff when they signed Ramsdale and everyone's like, you signed the worst keeper in the Prem, and I'm thinking like, okay, his last 2 clubs, he won Player of the Season.
I know.
Each time. Like,
he was relegated, but is he the one scoring the goals?
No. Is he the defenders?
No. All he can do is like, that's why he actually made the most saves, I think, in the league. Not this last season, but the season before. Because he had the most shots faced. Do you know what I mean? Like players like goalkeepers like Mendy, goalkeepers like Alisson and Edison, they're gonna have like max 3-4 a game,
and they've got to be.
And they're like,
I think it's his name and just where he's come from.
Yeah, and when you look at him, he doesn't look like Alisson or Mendy. He's not like sculptured from stone, is he?
He's like, a bit scruffy. He doesn't look the most like.
He looks like a playground keeper, doesn't he? Like, yeah. But I think as well is he does have that, like, when you watch Arsenal, you see he shouts a lot.
Yeah, he's a leader.
Every tackle someone makes, he's like very much like Italy and Juventus, teams like that are, where everybody congratulates each other when they make a challenge.
And like I saw him a couple of games ago. I think it was a Spurs game. I think someone made a mistake, and like it's when he made one of his top saves. Like
Arsenal, fucking.
It might have been the Spurs game, but like it was Spurs or Brighton or someone. Someone made a mistake, and like they were in, and he saved them, and like he was going mad. He was pulling them apart. He was grabbing them. It was Gabriel. Was shouting at him. I was thinking, do you know what? This guy's got balls.
You need to set the bar, innit? Yeah.
I like that. He's Seaman mentality.
Yeah.
Like Arsenal could have like their replacement for Seaman there.
I don't know what that made me laugh. Yeah. Oh mate, that's Peter Griffin style. That is.
Seaman mentality.
Right. So talking about. Yeah.
You got that Seaman mentality.
Yeah. No. So like talking about top 6 teams in or out of the top 6.
Yeah.
Who's off the top of your head? Whatever. Give me 3 players outside of the top 6.
Mhm.
I don't know how many times I'm gonna say outside of the top 6. Top 6. Top 6. Top 6. 3 players outside of the top 6.
Outside of the top 6.
That you would love to have on your team. His team being Chelsea, my team being Liverpool.
This is an easy one for me. So obviously Chelsea, I'm thinking of the positions we need to strengthen in. I'd go Rice in the middle, like as the Kante replacement. I just think he's such a baller. I think he's probably honestly one of the
He
top.
should come back home.
Yeah, come
Chelsea.
home, man. Like, loves Chelsea. Everyone would want him back. I think he'd come back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'd have Declan Rice. I would take. This is tough, you know. I think I would go for probably one of the strikers. So we're talking who finished outside the top 6 last season.
Just the not including Arsenal and Spurs.
Okay, not including Arsenal and Spurs.
In Arsenal and Spurs in the top 6.
Arsenal Spurs are in the top 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rice is fine. So you're looking at teams like Villa, aren't you, as well?
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? For Villa, I really actually like. I always wanted Chelsea to get in that Leon Bailey.
Yeah.
I know he's just joined, but I think he's a baller.
Yeah,
he's
he
so
looks
quick,
tasty, man.
direct. I'd love him at Chelsea. Like, I think he's gonna be sick. And I'd probably get that Cucurella from Brighton,
Yes.
the left back.
I've watched him in the Olympics for Spain.
Yeah.
And you fall in love with him.
He's
quick.
just
any man with some good hair. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Get him on my team.
don't get me wrong, I love chillers. Like Marcus Alonso's a clutch player, but
Yeah.
I just think he'd be sick. Like why would you not take him? He'd be another reliable player. He's like having Aspilicueta on the left hand side.
Spain are back.
Yeah.
Spain are back. They're gonna have
They
another
are.
golden generation, mate.
100%.
Like they're same as Barcelona. Barcelona might be down now, but
5
when
years
all
time,
of their 17, 18-year-olds are a bit
Fati,
older,
Pedri,
yeah, Gavi.
they're gonna be back.
So the 3 I went for,
Gone.
I need to take one off because I forgot he played for Arsenal for a minute. I cheated. I wrote loads down. So I put Decore from Everton.
That's a great shout.
I know I shouldn't because he plays for Everton, but like even when he played for Watford, I think Decore in like a really good counter-attacking team would be phenomenal.
And he's got tech, you know, as well. Like
That's
a
it. He's a
player,
good
but
player.
He's actually got
Yeah.
tech.
I went for Rafinha from Leeds. Bit of a bait one because we were interested in him anyway.
Yeah.
And I put Odegaard, but yeah, I kind of got mixed up. So outside of it, I'll probably go Adama Traore.
Yeah, man, baller.
I feel like him in a good team
Yeah.
would be unreal.
He's just so frustrating because he's the definition of all fart and no poo.
Yeah.
Like, literally does everything. Like, does the hard bit. He gets to the toilet. You know, his stomach's going. He gets there, and he can't shit.
I saw a stat on Sky. I can't remember what game it was before on Sky Sports, and they were talking about players that beat players and then have a shot from it. And he's like third on the list with like 13 times he's beaten more than one player and had created a shot for himself. Mm-hmm. And not one of them has been a goal. No. He's the only one out of all those players to not score.
He's literally like, if he was on, like, his FIFA card should be
straight at the keeper every time.
99 pace, 99 like
99 shot power.
Yeah. But like
finishing 25.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
Like, he's just all over the place. I don't like. He is the most frustrating player because if he literally could start scoring, he'd be the best player in the league.
I've really enjoyed watching Wolves this season. By the way,
They've been better.
Mentioned them yet, but
they have been better
under like the same system but more positive.
Yeah.
I feel like that Hwang Hee-chan.
Yeah,
he's looked good.
Sick.
Tidy player. Jimenez, I like Jimenez, but, and this might sound really horrible, but ever since the head thing, when you look at him, doesn't he look like he's just come out of hospital? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
no, but this geezer's skin, 2 years ago was perfect, mate. Like, he could.
I don't like him because he looks like he's ill.
No, I do like him. Just gone off him a bit.
Yeah, he was a sexy Mexican like salsa man.
No.
And now he looks like
not even on the homoeroticism thing, but like he looked so like. He looked like a model, but now he looks a bit paler. He's got bags under his eyes. And I do wonder whether that, again, this is going to sound bad because I have no idea whether they have or not. But it seems like Jimenez has been like, I want to get back to playing football ASAP.
Yeah.
And Wolves, instead of being like, look, you can't, they've just sort of been like, he's our best player. So, if you want to come back, come back. If you feel like you're ready, mate. And I don't know, like, he obviously scored a couple goals, scored with his head, taking his headband off, even though the doctor said he should have to play with that for life. Like, I'll just watch him, and I feel like there's going to be another bit of a tragic moment with him.
Really?
Because, like, he very, very nearly got brain damaged and stuff.
I know.
Like, he cracked his skull, but
it was a serious injury.
not like a cut on your
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
He's got a dent in his head
It was
now.
what Check done, right?
Yeah,
And obviously
yeah.
Check had to wear the headgear.
Yeah, like, and he goes up for headers a lot and stuff, and I live in absolute fear watching
something
Wolves
could
just for
happen.
that. But Wolves as well, signing that is it Marcel, that left wing back that they've got? He looks unreal. It's like an absolute machine.
They always get little tin gems. Don't they?
Yeah. And who's the winger that they got? The Portuguese one.
Oh, the one who looks a bit like a poet.
Yeah, he does look like a philosopher from
What's his name?
from the epoch of Greece.
The one they signed last
Epoch
season.
of Greece doesn't even make sense. No. They signed him this season from Barcelona.
Oh.
I just can't think of his name. I always buy him on Football Manager as well. Trincao. He looks pretty naughty. Some other names I've got on the list. Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
I would not mind him.
Baller.
T. Elements, we've already mentioned him. Danny Ings.
So much sauce.
Danny Ings.
Bring him home,
I'd love
mate.
him back at Liverpool.
Bring him home.
He had to go because of the injuries and that. Ismail Assar, the Watford winger.
Yeah, he's sick.
A bit of a...
pacey, skillful.
Yeah.
Finish.
It'd be good at Liverpool, I think.
I'd take Ben Foster, actually. I just love Ben Foster.
I know, the cycling goalkeeper.
Yeah, just for the vibes.
Do you know
mate.
what? I know we battered Watford the other day, but he made some cracking
sick,
saves.
Oh, he's actually sick.
He should have played more for England, Ben Foster.
Just love him as a personality. I think he's honestly like one of the best personalities on YouTube.
Yeah. Good
like,
podcast.
He's so watchable, and he's so likable. I saw something on Twitter actually about apparently Watford want him to stop doing the YouTube
Some of the
stuff,
players
or, like,
have had words and
they're like
stuff.
a bit
Focus
funny
on
with him about
it's
doing
like,
it.
Sorry,
It's like, why? Let
He
him
must
crack
be looking
on.
at the rest of the players thinking, so you don't have to do your job,
Yeah.
but I can do both jobs. I can do two jobs.
He's
And
probably
I've got to quit one because you can't do
he's
yours.
probably making a mint as well. Like, he's on podcasts. Like,
Yeah, he's getting on. He's finding his new path in
Ben,
life.
if you want to come on here,
mate, you're always welcome.
there's a space on the sofa.
You little cycler, you.
Cycle here. Yeah, what? Cycle here.
Yes,
I've got a bike.
Yeah, we'll join
Bike's
you,
got a
innit?
bike.
Yeah. It's broken, but yeah, I mean, we'll
That'd
make
be a
it.
good video. Freeway cycle. With,
Freeway cycle. Mate, the homo.
Takeaway cycle.
Homoeroticism tonight.
Freeway
is
with Ben
off
Foster.
key. I've also got. Anderson, the Palace centre back.
Yeah.
That they got from Leon via Fulham. Alan St. Maximin.
Oh,
Imagine
my guy.
him and Adama Traore in the same team. Oh.
Come on, guys, are ballers.
And another one I put on there as well, the whole Brentford team. I'll take any of them.
Yeah.
I'll take the whole Brentford team. Put Salah up there.
Are they just like? Are they just vibes though? Are they
I feel like they're very Thomas Frank. Like if Thomas Frank wasn't there, the manager,
Yeah.
they probably wouldn't be there.
Would they be there? Yes.
No.
It's like Sheffield United under Chris Wilder.
Yeah.
Like they were.
They
sick.
thought they could do better.
Like they were beating.
They could not
They
do
were
better.
beating they beat Chelsea
Spurs and
3-0.
Pochettino.
Yeah.
Oh, you lost in a Champions League final. We think we're better than that.
Yeah. Embarrassing.
That is a
Come on,
shocking.
I'm glad they are where they
poor
are. And do you know
decision.
what? If you're a Spurs fan, then
I don't know. I know, like round here, there's quite a few Spurs fans. I feel like,
yeah.
and
But it is
not
quite
one
a,
of
it's
them-
quite a jank area, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Jank area, jank teams. Do you know what I mean? That's what you get. It's so obvious. But I don't know any of them that were happy about the Poch sacking.
No.
Even though,
Stupid.
obviously, hindsight, you go, yeah, Mourinho was a shit thing, but Mourinho was a pretty big name to replace Pochettino
Yeah, of
with,
course
and
it
even
was.
then, at the time, they were like, nah. We're
Thing
like,
is, Mourinho, like
Poch changed Spurs.
Mourinho is literally like the definition of like an old man who's like he's been in the war.
I'd love
like,
him
and
at
he literally,
Newcastle though.
Yeah. Like he literally talks to like he's that dad that like if you sit down and you watch like UFC,
Oh,
he's
these
like,
generations aren't.
why
like
is he
mine.
doing? Why is he throwing a southpaw? If I was in there, I'd be doing this.
Yeah, in the trenches.
And you're like,
You're not even old enough to have been
what?
in the war.
That's
like,
literally Mourinho. Like,
yeah.
don't get me wrong, with the best 20 years ago.
But, dude, talking about Mourinho, talking about You, the Netflix series. Have you seen all the things about how he looks like a
Yeah.
young Mourinho?
That's
I'm just
scary.
waiting for like one episode. He just like walks
Puts
out
on
and someone just goes Jose, and he
Yeah.
turns around and it's like because his name's
It's
Joe.
weird, same hair as well.
Yeah,
Same hair,
yeah.
same literally expression.
I'm waiting for it to turn into like an actual secret biopic of Mourinho's
Yeah.
life.
And then he actually becomes Mourinho. And you're like,
yeah.
wait,
did this happen?
What?
yeah.
And then Mourinho's arrested.
In real life. Mate, that's another thing as well. All these footballers getting arrested.
I know.
There's a Brighton player unnamed on bail. No, but Basuma was playing before the the rumor is it's Basuma, but someone came up with something to why it can't be, or so. I don't know the ins and outs. French player Sidi Sarr, who another guy I'll get on Football Manager. I'm gonna sell him straight away when I get home. He's just been arrested for having sex with two 17-year-olds allegedly. Mendy, mental. The fact that he got arrested 3 times at the training ground and still played every week.
I know.
Mental. Jack Grealish
But
got
when you
arrested
need
for another thing.
To be fair, when you need a left back, like, what can you do?
You know what I mean? Just looking about and going,
Yeah, listen, you're awful. You're illegal, but you're in.
Well, talking about that, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
He
That's what
literally,
happens when
you
you
look at the statement he made, and he's
Yeah.
basically like, yeah, I did it, but I just paid her enough money to not charge me for it. And it's like, and then you look at the Sky Sports coverage, and they're like, what was it that journalist on Twitter was like, and as Ronaldo walks out onto the pitch, fat boy Slim plays, and it's like, we've come along, and he wrote the lyrics out, and it's like, oh my god, the guy's a sex offender.
Yeah.
And they're not even allowed to mention that because it will harm the brand. Because we know.
But you know what it's like, mate. Listen,
Sky Sports is basically
anyone
United,
in
Liverpool.
the public eye, they've got money, they've got lawyers, they've got power.
Yeah,
That's
doesn't
it.
matter.
It
Do
doesn't
what you
matter.
want. When you're younger and people say that, you think like, that's a bit far fetched, and
Like,
then you realise that
Adam Johnson's must
actually-
have actually been really bad for that to really come to light, and like,
Yeah.
You
True,
know.
true. Actually, he's like, it's like when all the Spanish players got done for tax, and they were all like, right, so we've all charged you with jail sentences, but you don't have to do the jail sentence. And
Yeah.
it's like, wait, what?
I know.
Like, someone doesn't pay their TV license or going for 3 months.
Yeah, it's literally
It's
like
unreal.
it's like a game of Monopoly in real life.
Yeah.
Like,
And you think it's a bit like conspiracy and all of that, and then I think someone added it up on Twitter, and it's six players across like the top European 5 leagues have been arrested in the last couple of months, and the worst thing that's happened is Mendy's been denied bail. To be fair, so it does look
didn't
like
they-
he'll be going down.
I don't know if this is true because I haven't checked, but I think I heard that they've actually removed him off FIFA.
Yeah, they have.
I don't think he's actually in the City squad. I don't think you can play with him.
It
at the minute.
is. He's just got that Pez name now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mondonda. Mondonda.
Right, so I want to move on to the hottest debate in town at the moment.
Mhm.
His name's Mo. He comes from Egypt. He's just had a wax figure unveiled at Madame Tussauds.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
He's where in the,
And it's
the
not,
wax
by the
figure.
way, it's not El Nene.
yeah. All me though. No, his Madame Tussauds. Yeah, he's wearing a white suit with no shirt underneath, like Miami Vice style. When have
Okay.
you ever seen Mo Salah?
Have they put the chest hair on?
No, I don't
I'll
know.
be honest,
Actually, I
he's
didn't
the
zoom in.
hairiest man, isn't
I'll
he?
zoom in later.
Like,
Yeah,
when he
is.
takes his top off,
He
like
is.
it's literally 99% hair.
Yeah, you know his wife's one of those women that just like loves hairy men,
Yeah.
innit? And he just walks in there.
Literally.
yeah.
He's a hairy man.
He is a bit of an Adonis though, isn't he? But the Salah debate, yeah, a lot of people saying he's the best in the world now. I'll start a little bit lower. Do you think he's the best player in the Prem right now?
Yes.
Do you think
Easy.
he's the best full stop, or do you think he's just the best right now?
I think he's the best player in the world
Yeah.
right now. On
Yes,
form.
I'm so glad you said that.
Like, he actually is. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He's stat padding every game. He's, like, absolutely dominating every team he plays. I think he's unbelievable. I think he's got better.
Yeah.
I'd never saw his ceiling being this high.
Yeah.
Like, he actually... I was watching him against Atletico, and, like, that first goal, I know... Was it Milner got the touch?
Milner / Kondogbia.
Yeah.
I think a bit of both.
Like, his movement, it was, like, Messi-esque.
Yeah, he beat players
Like,
they
he is
weren't
just...
there.
He's
Yeah.
silly good. Like, him and then Benzema are probably the 2 best players in the world right now.
I was gonna say, if it wasn't Salah, who do you think would be
Yeah,
in shout?
Benzema's been unreal.
Lewandowski. Do you think
Yeah, he's
this
just a
this
joke.
is less like is he the best in the world, but more with the Ballon d'Or coming up? Do you think it's time? Obviously, I'd love to see Salah get the Ballon d'Or
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
the Salador.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? It was born to happen. But do you think Lewandowski's like owed one a little bit? I know, like in the NBA, you get that with MVPs a bit.
Yeah, he's been unreal, but like they didn't win anything last season apart from their domestic league, and they do look at that. And that's why
Yeah.
players like Jorginho are in the shout, because
Yeah.
he won the Euros and he won the champs.
Yeah.
Like, he might, like when Modric won it, you can't tell me Modric was the best player in the world.
No.
But just because of what his team achieved and the fact Croatia got to the World Cup final,
On the
he
biggest
won it.
stage.
So
yeah,
I could
yeah.
see Jorginho winning it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I could.
I could. I don't think it'll be deserved. I don't think he's the best player in the world. It'll be a weird Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, I love all the Italian managers coming out being like, "Yep, definitely Jorginho's best player in the world." And it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, come
He's
on, like, I
definitely-
love Jorginho.
I love Jorginho, but he's
come
definitely not. Like,
on. That is homer bias. That is.
personally, it's tough. I'd love Kante to get it. Because of what he's had,
But
you know.
and this is the thing, like if Salah wins it, the players like Kante, Benzema, Lewandowski, they're gonna retire, and people will look back
And they won't see
and think
that, yeah.
they were never the best player for a
Yeah,
while, but they
it-
all were. Like,
Yeah, of course they were. I mean, I think the one thing you can agree on, this Ballon d'Or is going to be one of the most interesting ones. Like, who actually gets it?
yeah.
You couldn't call it.
No.
Like, you always knew last 10 years.
Aspilicueta's on the shortlist.
I
isn't
know.
he?
So it's Mason
fair
Mount.
play. Fair play. I like Mason Mount.
Yeah. No chance of winning it.
No,
Still
no,
got
no.
loads to do.
Imagine if he did.
If he did, then
Do you know who should win it? Federico Chiesa.
baller. He's your son.
He is my second cousin.
You take
It's
him.
unofficial, but
yeah.
like, it's basically official.
We both said on Twitter the other day, we were both like, I put out a tweet, and I think it literally just posted for like 3 seconds, and Butler replied. Basically, I tweeted saying I wanted Chelsea to get Chiesa.
Yeah.
And
I
you were
would
very
be-
quick to.
I would be
Dismiss that.
heartbroken. I would be heartbroken. That boy, if there was ever an Italian player made for the Prem, it is that.
Yeah, he
Like
will.
that
he-
goal against you the other week,
Yeah.
and it's just you can imagine that in the Prem, innit,
Oh,
where it's a
every-
bit
every week.
faster.
every
And
week.
he's just a
I
bow.
could see him at Liverpool.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think Mane will stay much longer? Because he looks like he's kind of like last season. He really looked like he'd lost interest.
Yeah, he's
Like,
sti-
he's
still
getting
a
back.
top player, but it comes to that point where, like, how far can your form come back
Yeah.
when you're getting older?
Yeah.
And like,
think
obviously,
he's hit
I've
his
got Mane
ceiling?
in the back right now. I love that man, but yeah,
Has he
I
hit his ceiling,
think
do you
Liverpool are probably looking to replace him out of the front three
Yeah.
first. And it's amazing to think 2 years ago, people would, like, all Liverpool fans, they'd be like, who do you think the best forward is? They'd be like, Mane, Firmino, then Salah. And now it's like Mane and Salah have done the swap. Because Bobby's such like a hero at Liverpool, he'll always be second. But yeah, Mane, I think, I'd never want to see the day, but I assume Liverpool probably will either sign a young player or someone like Chiesa
So do you
if
think
they
it would
could
be- do you think
in
it
the
would
summer.
be Mane out and Chiesa in then?
If I don't think it will happen though. I don't think Chiesa would come to Liverpool. I
What,
think
because of money or
I just think because of his affinity to Juventus and like Italian people love Italy, innit? They want the Serie A to get back to that
so you think
point.
he'll stay in Italy?
I think if he was to move from Italy, it would be for the like, I don't know how to put it, the definite best team outside of Italy.
Okay.
And I don't know if
What, so like
if
if he's gonna
Liverpool
come to
don't win
England-
anything this season, I don't think we could say.
So if he's
Oh,
going to
don't
come
you-
to England, you think it'd be like maybe City?
I think City or Chelsea. Chelsea won the Champions League. And
Yeah.
you've got to remember, on a global stage,
That's what players
it's
look
the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Champions League.
It's
And
true.
so I think it pains me to say it because he would be the perfect Mane replacement.
But you guys won it 2 years before.
Yeah, true.
Like,
But
you-
short-term memory loss.
I know.
nowadays.
It's true. I don't know. It'll be interesting. There's obviously lots to happen, but yeah.
Because a point I was going to say about the whole Salah thing, before I get to that, do you think Messi and Ronaldo are still top two?
No.
Generally? No.
Generally, no.
Same.
Like controversial.
I think Ronaldo's like,
He's still up there. Like he's in top 10. Like because of what he does and the numbers he puts out. He's like a 9 now.
Yeah.
Like and he'll always score goals. The top 2 is like, it's so tough. I'm always like, is
Neymar in there for you? at all?
Nah, I wouldn't put Neymar in there. Too
Mbappe?
inconsistent. Do you know what? This is the controversial opinion. I actually think he's so overrated. Like, I actually think he is so overrated. When it comes to it, when it matters, there's been so many times he's, like, flopped.
Yeah.
Like, in the Euros, he really flopped.
Yeah.
Like, when they
Pogba
needed
and
him.
Kante carry France.
Yeah, they do. They
really
do, 100%. Benzema does now. Now he's
Yeah.
back in the team.
Yeah.
Like, Mbappe, I watch him for PSG, and I'm like, you've got everything to be literally
Di
the
Maria's
best.
PSG's best player.
Yeah. Mbappe, I'm like, you have everything to be the best.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Whether it's like he thinks he's already made it or like...
There is a lot of murmurs about that, isn't there? That he feels like he doesn't need to improve anymore. And it's like, bro,
you
like,
could be insane.
there's a lot of players hot on your heels, isn't it? Like,
but I think maybe like best right now, like it's Haaland. You know,
I was gonna say, do you think Haaland's like?
I think Haaland is probably the best striker in
Been
the world.
a few seasons scoring more than he plays.
Yeah.
At what point do you go?
But like,
it don't matter what division you're in.
I kind of don't want to judge it yet because he's doing it in like obviously the Bundesliga. If he came and was doing it in the Prem, then like facts, he's the best.
Do you
like,
think?
I don't take the German league seriously. Like that's why Lewandowski,
no,
I'm always a
I
bit
know.
like, because they're playing teams like Hertha Berlin and playing teams like.
The thing is Germany as well, is because there's such a big emphasis on playing academy players.
Yeah.
The lower teams in the league, half of their players are like 23 and under.
Yeah, and
so
also
like, they're not even like the best players they could.
Did you remember what Werner said last season? I think he was interviewed like Christmas time, and they were like, "Oh, how are you finding it in England?" He was like, "I honestly didn't expect the level to be this high," and he was like, "Even the defenders of the lesser teams are so hard to get past. Like they're bullies. Like you've got to be. That's why if you come to the Prem and you do what like Salah does, and you're like 5'6", 5'7". You are a baller. Like you are an absolute baller to do that because he brushes people off. Like that goal he scored against City and that goal he scored against Watford. Like unless you play football, like how do you do that? Like
that little
like bouncing
roll,
off people,
like,
rolling it, keeping it like close to the body. Like he, for me, right now, the two best players in the world, I would say are Salah and Benzema, and that's because of form.
Yeah.
Like Haaland is third, but like you want to see him do it like in a better league.
I'm glad. Do you know what? I'm glad Benzema is now like padding those stats out because now people are starting to realise that he's actually
and
that's
you know
the
what?
reason why he's been Real Madrid.
People don't want to have the conversation since Ronaldo's left Madrid. Benzema's had the better career.
Yeah,
like since Ronaldo left Madrid, Benzema has had better seasons, better stats, won more. Like
I think Madrid are in for a shout for the Champions League now. I think teams suffer when a player like Ronaldo leaves because it's like we were just kind of demanded to pass it to him all the time. Yeah. Now we've got to not just play nicely out from the back. We've got to now like do everything ourselves. I know it was only Shakhtar the other night, but watching them against Shakhtar and you think players like Vinicius Jr.
He's balling now. Yeah.
Like when they get to that next level, they're going to be a naughty team.
Yeah. He's like he could go like Neymar levels, couldn't he? Vinicius. Yeah. 100%.
But that's the thing as well. Like sticking with PSG, is like with the whole Neymar and Mbappe, like. Everybody will say, like, Mbappe, Neymar, two best players on... Obviously, let's leave Messi out of the conversation as he's just joined. But, like, to me, every time I watch PSG, for the last 2 years, it's like... To me, Verratti and Di Maria have always been the two best players on the team.
Verratti is an absolute...
Di Maria always plays better than Mbappe and Neymar.
Yeah.
So how can you say that they're better? Oh, well, they take more penalties. They score a few more goals. But, like... That doesn't.
But you know what?
On.
This is going to
fallen out of
this
love
is literally
with like that.
This is literally going to bring us back to what we were going to talk about why do some players get praised, and why do certain players get a load of stick.
Yeah.
And like we were both saying earlier, we could think of some examples. The one you mentioned, Cater. Yeah. Why does he get so much stick?
This is the thing. The game against Atletico, he gets beaten by João Felix just beyond the halfway line. Takes it past 2 or 3 more players, plays a pass, that pass shouldn't have got through, and he's getting blamed for it. Like, you get beaten in football. Like, imagine how boring football would be if no one could beat anyone off the dribble. Like
table football. That's it.
Like, this is the people just expect some players to be robots, and some players, their performances never get looked at because it's just a given. Yeah. And Salah's starting to fall into that category for me, where, like, he'll score a penalty, and he's won the game for Liverpool. Yeah, and you think like, no, hang on, like,
actually,
someone else actually scored a cracker.
In the game, but
yeah. Like if Salah had scored Naby's goal, the volley, then everyone would be like, I told you he was the best. And like it's falling into that category, and I think, there is quite a few players like that, and I think Arsenal have become one of those teams. I know we said about Granit Xhaka, and it is funny to laugh at him because he does. Like throughout the season, there will always be that one thing he does. Yeah. But like, it's got to the point now, and like Harry was saying to me earlier, like he'll misplace a pass, and everyone will be like, "See, I told you you can't play football." And someone else will do
when he's out the team, they miss him.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
And that's where my relationship with Kane come from. Is like because of the story.
Yeah.
He can do no wrong in so many people's eyes. And you sort of, you watch England games and you think, he touched the ball like twice and he lost it. And then everyone's like, oh, Harry Kane carries England.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Harry Kane carry England.
No.
Ever. I cannot recall a game beyond an Andorra or Gibraltar
where he's dominated.
Yeah. And it is this weird thing where like we've become very moments orientated. And another player, sorry to bring it back to Liverpool, but Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of the biggest victims of this, because people can recall a time when someone beat him too easily. Now it's like, he gets beaten every time.
Yeah.
And like it's so hard to overcome that, because football has become very like moments orientated. If you watch the highlights and you saw him get beaten, then he had a bad game, no matter what else they'd done. And we write off players. Salah may be the perfect example, where now he's getting credit for everything he does.
Yep.
And just think back Chelsea days. Written off because he didn't quite get up to speed. And
but I just don't, it's weird, isn't it? How like some players, like you say, they get the criticism and other players just avoid it. Like
Henderson
like,
and Milner didn't have good first halves, and it's like, oh yeah, go on boys.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Wait.
But also every time I watch Cater, like I don't watch Liverpool loads, but every time I watch Cater, he always scores a banger.
Yeah,
like
he's a really good player,
his goals
isn't
are
it?
all like worldies. Like he's actually a top player.
Do you think? And I know you mentioned Hudson-Odoi earlier as well.
Yeah.
He's someone else. Do you think people count injuries as bad form?
Do you know what? The thing that frustrates me with so going back, I know obviously going back to Chelsea, but Hudson-Odoi, he barely plays. Like he comes on in the second half, and like, don't get me wrong, I do get frustrated with him, and I said it earlier.
Of course,
in the show.
You want your team to win,
but like he does not get the rope that the likes of Ziyech, Werner, Havertz, even Mount get. Yeah. Like he plays half the games. Like he's not putting out the stats in a minute. He gets the odd assist, or like he might get the odd goal, but
it's hard to, isn't it?
I think, do you know what? Unless you're giving him the exact same minutes as you're giving everyone else, like don't judge him.
Yeah.
Like I actually want to see Hudson-Odoi in a run of games playing at left wing, not at right wing back, because that's not his position.
I know.
Just to see what can happen.
Yeah.
Because I think he has got tech. But
Liverpool tried to buy him in the summer, didn't they?
He needs to
I'd take him all day.
He just needs to have a run of games.
Yeah.
Like he needs to have a run of games. He's not getting that at the minute. Like I think if he gets a run of games, I think you could see more. But like I don't know why. Like loads of Chelsea fans on Twitter literally slate him. Like he came on yesterday, and I literally was looking at some of the comments, and it was like, oh, like why are we bringing him on? Like waste of time. Like he's not going to do anything. And he actually got an assist and played well.
Yeah.
And he was like, he was very direct. Like I just like Ziyech has been crap since we signed him. I'd get rid of him. Werner gets criticism about his finishing, but he's very industrious, and he's a player I'd always play.
Players that get themselves in the right positions probably will come good in the end.
Yeah, 100%. But I just don't get how some players, like we go back to Cater, why they get the stick, and like Cater doesn't play all the time.
No,
he doesn't play all the time. Like,
no.
And you could play Fabinho's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have a great game every game.
No, but people pretend that he does.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And you have players who are like bulletproof, like Mason Mount as well. He gets a lot of weird criticism, especially online. Like people really have it.
Do you know what I find as well? Like you mentioned the Chelsea fan base about Hudson-Odoi. Do you think that like group chats and Twitter, and do you think people are like so negative about some of their own team?
Yeah. Because
they're afraid that a fan of another team is going to be like, haha, you thought Hudson-Odoi was going to be better than Saka or something like that.
There's so much.
Everyone just like commentates on football out of fear now.
I know. And the football opinions on Twitter are just like stupid.
Oh mate, but the thing is you can't get away from it, because you're like, no, I need to find out why this fucker
and you get in a loophole.
We haven't got a good squad because we didn't sign a backup striker this year, and it's things like that. And
where's Minamino at? Have you kept him?
Yeah,
Has he been getting any game time?
Not really, and it does annoy me.
I think he's a baller. You know,
I really like him.
Do you remember that game he played against you in the Champions League that made you sign him?
Yeah,
and he literally looked unreal.
Yeah. That's again, like you say, give someone a run of games and you find out what sort of player they are. Because like, look, good example again, just talking about Liverpool and Chelsea, Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah.
He was written off.
Yeah.
Completely.
And last few games,
give him
he's been
a good run of games in a good team, and like, hey presto,
Yeah.
like all of those scouts and coaches weren't wrong. Like this is the thing. I think people are very quick to assume that like all of these top level coaches and managers are like no less than us.
Yeah.
One, they see them every day. Two, they know football better than we do. And like, if that many people have faith in them, if they stick around, if they bounce around for that long, there's obviously something in there.
100%. 100%. I couldn't agree more. I don't know why but it will always exist. Like, we'll always have difference of opinion, especially as fans, and especially on like platforms that we're given, like Twitter. That's why it can get quite hostile. But yeah, I want to know, obviously, before we like wrap things up today, what your Liverpool 11, like strongest 11 is. And like
right now?
Yeah, right now.
Without injuries.
So if everyone was fit.
Alisson.
This is up for debate, by the way, so everyone comment what you think.
Yeah. But over the next few weeks, we should do some like combined 11s and stuff like that. Stuff to argue about. Trent, right back, obviously. I honestly still think he's rated fairly well by the general public, but the way some people talk about Trent, I just think like, what? Like, he's a cracking player. Like, really fucking good player.
Could play
like,
in centre mid.
Like easily. A really good player.
Yeah.
So him, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson.
Yeah.
In midfield, Fabinho at the 6. On personal preference, and it's going to kill.
You're the manager.
Yeah, this is going to kill me because I've spent so many years sticking up for Henderson, but I would go Thiago and Keita.
Okay.
Like
big midfield that.
Yeah, like just on the ball is just unreal. Mane, a lot of people prefer Jota now, but I'm Bobby Firmino.
Yeah.
Till I die. Mane, Bobby, Salah.
I do love Jota though. I think he's a baller.
Yeah.
He's a sick
I really
player.
like him. What about you with Chelsea?
Annoyingly, I have to go with our 5 at the back because that's like what.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the hardest for me, if I was to choose, the hardest choice is in the middle.
Yeah. We've got players that suit 5 at the back, which is frustrating, but I do want us to change it. So I could change. This could change obviously as we go on throughout the season. But I'd go Mendy in goal, left wing back Chilwell.
Yeah, I'm Chilwell over Alonso all day.
A back 3 of probably Rudiger, Christensen, and Azpilicueta.
Yeah.
Love Thiago Silva, but he is just obviously.
He's getting on.
He's
like, got a good game.
You can't rely on him. He's insane. Like how good is he at 37?
Yeah.
But I'd play Azpilicueta because he's just like, he gives you a 7 out of 10 every game. Rudiger's like trajectory of where he's gone, like you're having the conversation now about him being one of the best centre backs in the world. Christensen, 42 clean sheets out of his last 52 games, by the way. Not that I've been paying attention. Absolute unit at the back, so versatile.
And decent on the ball.
Great passing out the back, like pressing, like pushing forward. Excellent player. Right wing back, I'd go Reece James.
Yeah, solid.
Again, excellent. Still has a massive ceiling. I don't think he's like even half of what he could be.
100%.
And then you'd probably go with the standard of like Kante and Jorginho in the middle.
Would you go for the 2 rather than the 3 then?
I'd go the 2.
Yeah.
And then probably in the slightly more advanced position, you'd put Mount.
Yeah.
as like the 8. And then I would go.
This is why I'm interested.
So
Lukaku's partner.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Lukaku's up top. Right, we'll see.
Lukaku obviously up top. And then I'm going to say Werner.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to say Werner.
I do like a bit of Kai.
I do like
Havertz.
I do. I want to see more. Like Werner works harder. Havertz, like I say, it could change. That 3 at the top is open for discussion.
I read a stat from, obviously I don't think Lukaku and Havertz have actually started. They haven't started most games together, have they?
No.
It was the first few.
Yeah.
And I don't think Havertz passed it to Lukaku more than like 3 or 4 times.
Really?
In like a few full games.
Well, Havertz
which is quite crazy.
Havertz is more of a centre forward.
Yeah, I do.
I'm not going to lie. Like Lukaku's actually out for 3 weeks now. Like I think play Havertz up top.
How do you think before we go? Because I've got it written down. Getting the best out of Lukaku. Do you think that's Werner up top with him?
Werner up top,
Mount sort of floating.
balls in behind, not into his feet.
Yeah.
He's not he is a target man, but I don't think he should
It's
be played as a
his
target
first
man.
touch. Sometimes you think like,
he's got to be balls in behind, playing like he did at Everton. Quick
Yeah.
play, counter attacks, use his pace. You know, give him the chances and he'll score goals. He's a top striker.
Cool.
Don't put the ball into his feet and expect miracles because his touch isn't the best.
No.
But if you give him chance in front of goal, he's not like Werner. He will score goals.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, and I don't.
Predator.
I'm not worried about that because I know for a fact if he played against Norwich, I was like, that's a banker. Like he would get like 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah.
I'm gutted he's out because like we've got 2 or 3 games now where he could have stat
Yeah.
padded.
What's the injury update?
They reckon 3 weeks. It's saying on Twitter, which is a bit peak, but that'll be an international break then as well. So hopefully
Another international break.
By the way, have you heard a World Cup every 2 years from 26?
I know. We need to.
Wenger's got his way.
Yeah, we need to dive into that because that's gonna.
We need to get the boys on tour.
Yeah, 100%.
It's done. From 26 World Cup every 2 years. So we'll have a tournament every year. Euros will be every 2 years as well.
What happens to African Cup of Nations and what happens to Nations League? Like, it's gonna be. There's gonna be
Nations
injuries.
League needs to be.
Yeah,
that's just. But it gets rid of like the pointless, like crappy international friendlies where
we need to get rid of the qualifiers, mate.
Yeah.
Like the last 4 games England have played, they've played Hungary twice and Andorra twice.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
What's the point in breaking up the season?
And no one wants to watch that shit. Like no one gives.
What's
no
the point in breaking up the season for that?
No.
Like, yeah, oh mate, that really riles me up. 3 international breaks this November.
I know.
It's November.
They've had
That's
to push
crazy.
They've had to like cram them in, haven't they? Because the
and
World
3
Cup
games.
Do you know the World
week.
Cup's in winter now next year, which is going to be weird.
It's what I mean. I feel like so much is happening, and they're just being like,
we'll
just get there and we'll just sort it out at the time. It's fine. That's fine, boys.
That's going to be weird though. We're going to be watching it like instead of beers, it's going to be hot chocolates and blankets.
We'll get all snuggle with the boys. Right, we better go because I've got a job interview tonight. Thank you very much for listening. Like we said at the start, like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy it. If you hate it, comment, get involved, argue with some people.
Thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah. You decide. Follow us on Twitter as well. What's your @
At Conar Cox Instagram for pictures of me and my life.
Yeah, I'm at Yakabutsu7. If you don't know how to spell it, we'll put it somewhere. Thanks very much, man. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.